promised it. I know the plans that I have for you. It didn't say so and so and A and B and C and D and F and G. You gotta know the plans for you. So what is the intention? The intention of everything that we do, Allah Yahuwah, is to walk uprightly before our Almighty One, Allah Yahuwah, and to be a witness of His magnificence in the earth, not to be a witness of mediocrity, because nothing that Yahuwah does is mediocre. I'm gonna say that again. Nothing that Yahuwah does is mediocre. Everything that He does is on a supreme scale. So we give thanks and we acknowledge Yahuwah. Hey. It's inside of you. You have to know the value of the worth of the treasure, the power, the light of the esteem that is inside of you. It's not outside of you. It's not outside of you. Come on. That's why we must take that time to look within as we shake off the dust and let it go. We're going to read it together. We're going to read Psalms together. Sometimes you just got to laugh at it. We're going to read all the verses 1 through 6. Say 1 and 1, right? Yeah, Psalm chapter 1, verses 1 through 6. Huh? We'll stop at 6? Lose yourself. Once we go through the Hebrew and the prayer, you're going to pray for us, all right? We're going to pray to you. Cool? Everybody here? Huh? Whatever you was telling you to let go. People, places, and things, attitudes, behaviors. Low expectations. Let go of the low expectations. Expect the miraculous.
Yeah, that's what it is. Like the book,
Exit 10, right?
the book he has is like Greek, Roman numerals and stuff, or Roman.
I don't even know how to read that.
Yeah, Roman. This is Roman numerals.
All right. Here we go. Shabbat Shalom, brethren.
Shabbat Shalom.
Welcome to another class with ehkadmalkutministries, Ministries, live from Atlanta, Georgia. I want to give double honors first and foremost to our Lord, our Creator, Yahuwah, and His only begotten Son, our King, and the one who covers us in the midst of even in darkness, Yehoshua Mashiach. I want to give double honors to the elders of RTA, double honors to the House of the Daya, and want to most definitely give honors to all the camps, assemblies, and congregations out there preaching the truth and sincerity. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
So we'll be starting in Psalms chapter 1 and 1, opening with the prayer. So if everybody can turn there, and let's face Jerusalem. So we'll be reading out the book of Psalms, chapter 1, verse 1, and we'll be reading together. Blessed is the man that walks not in the counsel of the wicked, nor stand in the way of sinners, nor sits in the seat of the scornful, but his delight is in the law of the Lord. And his Torah is meditated day and night. And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he does shall prosper. But the wicked are not so, but like the chaff the wind driveth away. Therefore the wicked shall not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the assembly of the righteous. For Yahweh knows the way of the righteous, but the way of the wicked shall perish. Hallelujah.
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 Your God.
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 I'll be you.
I'll be you.
Shabbat Shemaim.
Shabbat Shemaim.
Yikwadesh.
Yikwadesh.
Shimka.
Shimka.
Tabo.
Tabo.
Makuteka.
Makuteka.
Yeah, I say.
Yeah, I say.
Rizonka.
Rizonka.
Shabbat Shemaim.
Shabbat Shemaim.
Gamba Addicts.
Gamba Addicts.
Taylanu.
Taylanu.
Elekum.
Elekum.
Zarkanu.
Zarkanu.
Hayo.
Hayo.
Umakal.
Umakal.
Lenuet.
Lenuet.
Kovutenu.
Kovutenu.
Kemoshigam.
Kemoshigam.
Anaknu.
Anaknu.
Makalnu.
Makalnu.
Lekavienu.
Lekavienu.
Waatavienu.
Waatavienu.
Medegi Siyo.
Medegi Siyo.
Elah.
Elah.
Hatzilenu.
Hatzilenu.
Mihara.
Mihara.
Kishoka.
Kishoka.
Hiyamakut.
Hiyamakut.
Wahagavora.
Wahagavora.
Wahatafera.
Wahatafera.
Leome.
Leome.
Olami.
Olami.
Bashim.
Bashim.
Yehoshua.
Yehoshua.
Hamashiach.
Hamashiach.
Our Father.
Our Father.
Who art in heaven.
Who art in heaven.
Hallowed be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done.
Thy will be done.
As in heaven.
As in heaven.
So on earth.
So on earth.
Give us this day.
Give us today
Our daily bread.
our daily bread.
And forgive us.
And forgive us
Our debts.
our debts.
As we forgive those.
As we forgive those.
As we forgive our debtors.
As we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not
And lead us not
into temptation.
into temptation.
But deliver us from the evil one.
But deliver us from the evil.
But deliver us from the evil
But
one.
deliver us from the evil.
But deliver us from the evil
But
one.
deliver us from the evil.
For thine is the kingdom.
For thine is the kingdom.
And the power.
And the power.
And the glory.
And the glory.
Forever.
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 Hallelujah.
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 Baruch Hashem.
Baruch Hashem.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
El Elyon.
El Elyon.
El Shaddai.
El Shaddai.
Hakadosh.
Hakadosh.
Israel.
Israel.
Baruch Hashem.
Baruch Hashem.
Yahoshua.
Yahoshua.
Hamashiach.
Mashiach.
Malek.
Malek.
Shamalki.
Shalaki.
Adon.
Adon.
Shal Adonim.
Shal Adonim.
Baruch Hashem.
Baruch Hashem.
Ruach HaKodesh.
Ruach HaKodesh.
Baruch Hashem.
Baruch Hashem.
Ruach HaKodesh.
Ruach HaKodesh.
Baruch Hashem.
Baruch Hashem.
Israel.
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 Olami.
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 Hallelujah.
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 Praise be the mighty Yah.
Praise be the mighty Yah.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah, Yah.
Hallelujah.
Thank you, Father, for your goodness and your mercy. Father, we come in your presence, Father, petitioning unto you, Father, that we might gain access unto your righteousness, Father. We don't come in our own righteousness, for our righteousness is as filthy rags. Oh, Yah, we ask that you strengthen us with the perfect strength, that we may be able to stand up right before you, oh Yah.
Hallelujah.
That we may be able to stand up right before you, Yah, naked and not ashamed, oh Yah. When we hold our hands up to you, Yah, let it not be bloody hands, where we have slain our brothers with our thoughts and our imaginations and with our tongues, oh Yah. But Yah, we come to you, humble, seeking you, Father.
Praise.
Seeking not your hand, but your face, Father.
Come on, Elohim.
Seeking your face, Father.
Hallelujah.
Cause your face to shine upon us, oh Yah, that we will walk in your likeness. Oh Yah, we give you all the esteem and all the glory, knowing that we are nothing without you. You are sovereign. You stand alone. You need no one. You don't need our praise. You don't need our accolades. You don't need our words, Father. You don't need nothing. But Father, we humble ourselves, Father. We ask that you receive our worship to you, Father. That you receive the words of our mouth and the meditations of our heart, that they may be acceptable in your sight.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Here we are, your men, God. Here we are, Israel. The ones that stand in the gap between man and you. For in your name is the revelation of being mediators between mankind and you. And we have fallen short of your glory. But somehow you made a way. You sent that lamb. that was slain before the foundations of the earth, before the foundations of this world, Father. You sent the kinsman redeemer among us, that he would take all our sins upon him, that he would suffer, that he would take our iniquities and wash them clean away from your face, that you would no longer remember us in our dead state. But now we are quickened through his resurrection. Total to you, oh Yah. We thank you, Father, for your presence. We thank you for coming in our midst, Father. You know everything we need, Father. We ask that you would thoroughly furnish, Father. We ask that you would examine our hearts right now. And you will see every darkened corner, Father. You will see and you will look deep within our womb of our souls, Father, where we have moved there because of our transgressions, Father.
Father, you are
Here we are, your sons, your bens. We have been redeemed. We have received the adoptions of sons through the sufferings of our big brother, Yehoshua HaMashiach. So we ask that when you see us, you don't see us, but you see him.
Please, Father.
See his finished work in us, oh Yah. Because if you see us, you see the filthy for who we really are and how far removed we are from you. But because you made a way through our kinsman redeemer, through our propitiator, through our chief shepherd, we can be at peace with you, and your wrath is turned away from us.
Hallelujah.
So we thank you. We thank you so much, oh Yah, how you have loaded us with benefits, Father. You have woken us up with our right minds, that we will call on you.
Hallelujah.
In the spirit and truth. Your word is true, oh Yah. Look at your mighty hand and see how it has gotten you salvation and how it is brought and he has done everything he said he would do. In this very hour, he is redeeming Israel in such a mighty way. And we thank you. And we just ask, Father, that you fill the mouth of your servant Mika'EL. Fill his heart with your words and with your wisdom and your understanding and your knowledge. Father, we ask that right now you sit in the throne of his mind and you will take over him as he speaks to the sheep of your pasture, even your men. And we ask all these things in the mighty name of Yeshua HaMashiach. And it is so.
It is so.
And it is so.
so.
And it is so. And it is so.
And it is so.
Hallelujah.
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 All right, you may be seated. All right. All praise. That was a beautiful prayer. All praise. Man. So we talked about something a couple weeks ago, and I want to see if anybody else feels it. Who feels that now that we've come out of the holy season, it's another transfer? It's another transfer. Like, it's different. We transition into another season now. Right? You feel that, right? And it's called the end of the harvest, right? And so what we are going into is something most would call a dead season, where things are not alive, things are not blooming. But it's more of a time of girding up, really, and preparing. When you think about dead season, I mean, what the season we came out of was life was blooming, right? Everything was flourishing. This is gonna be a time when it's cease and desist, and it's a moment of just girding yourself up and preparing for the winter, right? And to prepare for the winter, there's certain things you got to do. gotta make sure you got enough food. You gotta make sure you got enough warm clothes. You gotta make sure that the place that you're staying is stable enough for you to survive the dead season. And so when you look at the spiritual aspect of that for us is we've just come out of a joyous time of a harvest. And now we're coming into a season where, like he said, it's going to be time to gird yourself up and protect yourself from what's to come, right? Especially now we're about to go into a season of evil. It's holidays back to back. It just popped off last week. Right? I was telling him the other day when I came to, I said, I ain't even want to leave the house for real. Right? And so this is the time that we must gird our minds, we must gird our spirits, and we must gird, our people, because as always, death does come. We want to make sure it don't come to our doorstep. Okay? Right. So the lesson we'll be going over today is called the power of the tongue. The power of the tongue. And the crazy thing is, right, the tongue is actually the weakest part of your body. But yet, it actually is the most powerful part of your body. Because the tongue has literally the power to speak life or death. I could punch somebody. I may hurt them, but I may not kill them. Your tongue can literally kill people spiritually and mentally and physically, right? And it has happened where people, because of what people said, they've committed suicide. And so, as being called the children of light, we have to be very conscious on what we are speaking. And really it starts with a thought. Right? Because before creation, the Father had a thought. He had an image of what he would like to create. Just like a lot of us, before we put pen and paper, we have an imagination on what we want something to look like. And so with us, it starts with our thought. And even in this corrupt system, which can trigger easily bad thoughts, you actually have the power to hold your tongue. And so being that, I want this message to be directed, and I spoke on something earlier this week, talking about religiosity. And Israel is becoming very religious, right? We're losing the culturalistic side of what it is to be Israel and becoming very religious. But at the same time, getting back to culture, if that makes sense. Right? It's a very heavy Pharisaic spirit going on. Right? And what was the thing about the Pharisees? They knew the law, most definitely. What else?
They didn't go by.
They were self-righteous.
Self-righteous. Pushing their agenda. Creating an ideology of what they think the scriptures may mean, right? And you see that a lot with Israel, right? Trying to kind of surface how people should walk and talk in this truth. When typically everybody didn't come through the same way. Right? And I was speaking on specifically just an example, but the biggest example I could use, because the biggest problem is the name. Right? When we have this thing of trying to tell people what the right name is. And I get it. And I was there. And the thing about that is people don't study the language. It's a habit thing. And so it becomes a religious thing because you're just regurgitating what you've heard. And it's been beaten in your head that was the right way. And so now you go on with a religious standpoint of you now beating in somebody's head. Right? And the thing is this. The Father said he could come in many names. And the thing also is, our thoughts is not his thoughts. And so example I used was, believe it or not, it's been some people who've come in the truth by way of calling on Jesus. Now, was that right to say they should keep calling on him once they come into the truth and know this is the name? Or whatever name moves you? No. But the point is, you can't knock them for how they came in. And obviously that saved them from something else. Because at the end of the day, before we knew the name, we was calling on Jesus. And probably still said Jesus to somebody had to show us, even in the truth. Whether we said Jesus or we said Christ. They both paganistic names that we used, right? And so we have power to either bring forth life in people or bring forth death. And we as Israel have to learn how to control the power we have. Because it's been literally a falling away because our tongue. Not so much of the scripture saying, oh, in the last days it'll be a great falling away. Yeah, that too. But a lot of it has been our tongue. A lot of us has turned people away of how we present the truth in our eyes. And then want to use scriptures like, well, my sheep shall hear my voice. But what if the sheep was actually running away from a wolf dressed in sheepskin? See, we come into the truth and we lose that humbleness we had in the beginning, where we were just sitting there as a baby and learning. We know a few precepts, right? We done went through a couple lessons, and all of a sudden we know it all. I was telling the sisters, this is over 3,000 years worth of cultural understanding. In America, it's barely hit over 50 years being in America, as far as the truth worldwide. And we've come across thinking we got it all, or we think we know it the right way, or we think because we got some literature which is coming from another idea that is right, which is just the truth. The fact is, none of us will know the whole truth ever until the Mashiach come back. And so with that understanding, our approach on how we present one part of the truth that we know has to always be humble, has to always be patient, and has to always be understanding that we were once where they were at. Even in this truth, you may come across somebody who's 2 years, 3 years in the truth, right? Or you may come across, you may be in the truth a year, and you come across somebody who's been in 10 years, they never heard what you said, but what you're saying is true. How you speak and deliver it can change the whole dynamic of that conversation, or even that person's walk. And so we have to be very careful and understand the power which the Most High has given us with what we have, which is called our tongue. So I want to start at 2 Maccabees 1 and 24. Second Maccabees 1 and 24.
And the prayer was after the manner, Lord, Lord God, creator of all things, who are fearful.
Start from top. Slow down. Start from top.
And the prayer was after this manner, O Lord, Lord God, creator of all things, who art fearful and strong and righteous and merciful, and the only and gracious, only and gracious King.
Right, and so this should be every Hebrew man's decree and prayer, right? Because our end game should really be, we want to get the lost sheep of the house of Israel, right? Because we, like the elder was saying in the prayer, we're supposed to finish the works of Mashiach. Yeah. And that was his main goal. Was to, what? I've come for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And so remember, it was a purpose of why he gave the apostles the doctrine of the Father to teach to all nations. Because we were to finish his good work. You understand? And so this, what we're going to read, should be our prayer and decree as being children or men of light. That is our goal, to get this lost sheep of Israel back to a functional place where we know who we are and we function on who we are. Y'all follow me? Okay. Let's keep reading.
The only giver of all things, the only just, almighty, and everlasting, thou that deliverest Israel from all trouble, and didst choose the Father and sanctify them.
Right.
Receive the sacrifice for the whole people Israel, and preserve thine own portion and sanctify it. Gather those together that are scattered from us, deliver them that serve among the heathen.
Right, and so this should be our goal, functionally and spiritually. That we want to deliver those of our people who are serving the heathen, so that we can actually get back to serving ourselves as a nation. You understand? There's not been any great nation that served another nation. It's still been great. And so it is our duty, whether that be by way of hitting the corners in the streets, whether that be by way of on a video, or simply the music ministry. Our message should be to bring forth the children of Israel to come back and to truly serve their Father and Creator. Right? Y'all follow me? Come on.
Look upon them that are despised and abhorred, and let the heathen know that thou art God.
Right, and so this is what the heathen should know. It shouldn't be a place where they're sitting here mocking us like this.
Right.
They making video and movies about us. They're trying to shame us because we keep shaming ourselves in the public by how we speak to each other. You'll see more debates on Facebook than brothers loving each other. Just straight up.
That's true.
And they got the nerve covered talking about we doing the work. It's not the work. Most I told us not to be about so much debate. But that's all you see is debate and strife on the internet. And we have the nerve to fix our mouth and say we're a nation. And then say we doing the work. You're not doing the work, you're doing Hashatan's work. And we supposed to be doing the Creator's work. You understand? We literally are nothing. We want to always bring that scripture up about the heathen being spittle to the Most High. But we literally are filthy rags, trying to get into righteous garments. And got the nerve to try to tell somebody how they should live when we ain't living in ourselves. Israel has to learn how to humble themselves. And this is why there's so much corruption in the nation now. It's about how we speaking and delivering this message that's supposed to be brought forth in righteousness. Y'all follow me? So let's see how we supposed to speak. 1 Peter 4:11. And this is the thing, you know, unfortunately with Israel, because we're still learning, you're going to get into arguments, you're going to get into small debates or whatever you want to call it, discourse, right? But the point of the conversation at the end should be, I still love you. And at the end of the day, the basis of this culture is what? To have Torah and the Bosorah of Yehoshua Mashiach. To have the law and the testimony of gospel of the Messiah. That should be the end-all game that we got, or at least our agreement, right? Mm-hmm. But unfortunately, it's not enough for Israel today. You gotta be right. You gotta prove somebody wrong, right? And then at the end, whether you right or wrong, now you lost a friend or a brother. And then really fix your mouth to pray to the Creator and saying, why is Israel in a bad state? When you're part of the problem. And so when Israel has the mindset at the end of it to say, you know what, I really don't know much. Uncle, we just said the other day, I really don't, when it comes down to it, I really don't know much.
The more you know, you realize you don't know.
The more you know, the more you realize you don't know. I don't know much. Elder, don't know much. Right? But the point is, we know enough, what you said, to stabilize ourselves. So we gotta come down a little bit as a nation. You understand? And start really serving. We so quick to try to be kings and priests that we ain't even serve yet. It's the reason we in bondage. You do a time to serve your time. Right? That's why the scripture said, and no man shall buy you. You were sold for bondmen and bondwomen. We are here to serve our time until the Creator says otherwise. Y'all follow me? So, we in this together. Ain't nobody different. The purpose is to use, as far as leadership, to help lift one another up to get to a certain destination, which to be a co-shepherd with the chief shepherd. Mm-hmm. Right? That's why every man was supposed to be what? Apt to teach. And so you're not going to be able to do that with somebody when you keep scorning them. You could put negative things. You constantly beating in their head. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong.
Does apt mean prepared? Like ordained or prepared?
You got to be prepared to teach it.
Okay.
and have an application to teach, right? 1 Peter 4:11.
If any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of God.
Right.
If any man minister, let him do it as of the ability which God giveth, that God in all things may be glorified through
And
myself.
that's the purpose. Telling somebody constantly they're 2/3 is not glorifying the Creator. That ain't your job to say who the 2/3 is. It ain't. It really ain't. It ain't your job to even condemn. You are simply a servant and a vessel to bring forth the gospel.
Hallelujah.
Remember, Mashiach said, as you heard in times past, curse them that curse you. Right? But I say to you, bless them that curse you. And you telling somebody, hey, 2/3 is not a blessing. That's condemning them. And the thing about it, you sitting there with them in gasoline draws. Don't even realize it. You know better than Paul before he was really Paul. Right? Oh, I know the law. I'm going to slice and dice you. I got them daggers. Then Paul had to be humble. And then we had to come and realize, you know what? I'm now in bondage for my words. And then he started to understand that and started to serve the Mashiach with alacrity. No longer being that prideful Hebrew Israelite who knew who he was, who was a top scholar, telling Negroes what they were doing wrong. But you know what? Let me be a barbarian to the barbarians. Let me speak to you in a way you understand, to a point that I can actually pull you on my side to see what I'm talking about. Because at the end of the day, I want to help save you, not condemn you. Y'all follow me?
Okay.
And the thing is, we have the power to do that. But you also have the power to speak on your own demise by how you do it. So as men of light, we are supposed to speak the oracles of Elohim, giving him the glory. Not sitting here making YouTube videos talking about some, and the Ishmaelite gets his head chopped off by the word.
They do be having some crazy titles.
That's a type?
And the African is sliced by his own doctrine.
Them camps on the street,
What?
they be doing that.
But how is that helping?
It's not. It's just them getting views.
It ain't just about camps, because it is individualites, congregations, assemblies, Israelites, period. Africans get sliced by his own doctrine. Are you doing that for the glory of the Most High? Or are you doing that for views? Because that's entertaining. See, that's what Israelites, we like that entertaining doctrine. Let me say something that's going to get the crowd going. That's going to attract more people. But let me tag a little bit of truth in there. So at least I cover my end and say, I did the righteous thing about crying out loud and sparing not. No, you're supposed to be a light. You're supposed to teach people how to be patient, how to have compassion, how to do charity. But you yelling at them or killing their world without giving them any solution besides keeping the law, statutes, and commandments does not help. Because guess what? They're going to look at you and say, what are you doing? I gave this example a couple weeks ago. You want to teach about the dietary law, but then look like you done ate about 5 pork chops. See, your tongue is an action. It moves before it speaks. So our action must exemplify what we speak. It moves before it speaks. Before it delivers a word, the tongue must move. So your action must be aligned with what you're speaking. Y'all follow me?
That was deep. That was wisdom right there.
This is what Israel's problem is. Hey, we sit here, hey, brother, realize 400 years done passed already, brother. We still here. Obviously, So obviously just talking ain't been helping us. You got to start applying action and be about what you talk about. It's a wonderful question to ask ourselves. Why can't we heal? The apostles was able to heal by a word. And it's a simple touch. Why can't we do the same thing? Because there's still too much darkness in what we're talking about. It's hate behind our speech. Do you hate me because I tell you the truth? What truth you talking about? Your truth for the Messiahs. The truth that you really hate people? That you really ain't got love in your heart? Or that really you was a lame in the world and try to become something in the truth? That's the truth you try to show? And so we got to come to a place, you know what? I don't even know it that much. Let me humble down. It's people out here teaching, can't even tell you the 10 Commandments. From the top to the bottom and back up. People trying to teach, can't speak nothing past Shalom and Shalom. But want to get puffed up with knowledge. Let me get the deep mysteries and stuff and get this down. Let me tell you about this and that. What that do for me though? Write it down. What does that do? How can I gain salvation from knowing that some angels fell? How can I gain salvation by knowing I can have multiple wives or one wife, or I could be a prophet of the Most High? Because before doing any of that, you must die of yourself and then heal. But we like to skip steps because we know something now. So let me talk about it. We have been indoctrinated to believe that we must speak about truth before applying truth to ourselves. And then wondering why it's a shift in the nation. Why can't we get together? Oh, we got different holy days. We got this and that. No, it's not that. The fact is, because you speaking about something you don't know and think you're right, is the reason we can't get together. Because if you actually humble yourself and be quiet for a minute and look at the bigger picture, I guarantee we actually can come together a lot faster. Y'all follow me?
Okay.
It ain't just the scriptures is why people ain't coming in the truth or staying in truth. A lot of it really has to do about how people are getting treated.
Say that again.
For real. It ain't the scripture that's just applying to everything of why this mystery falling away is happening. It's literally people are falling away because how people are getting treated. And you got wool trying to cover it up with the word saying this is why. Oh, if you fell out the truth, you was never in the beginning. My brother, when did you actually start? Why are you speaking on something? When did you actually start? Because rather than coming to Facebook and posting about it, did you even get that person to call, see how they doing? Did you ask them why they fall out the truth? Did you make 5,000 videos talking about they fell out the truth? We too reactive, man. We don't take time to sit still and try to analyze what actually happened. You get what I'm saying? Yehoshua had the power to bring somebody back to life. Why can't we? And I'm talking about on the spiritual realm. They fell out the truth, obviously dead. But do you have the power through Mashiach to bring that person back to life in this truth? Or is it because you are also dead yourself, speaking dead words? Sirach 14:1.
Blessed is the man that hath not slipped with his mouth. Blessed is the man that hath not slipped with his mouth.
Have not slipped with his mouth, come on.
And is not pricked with the multitude of sins. Blessed is he whose conscience hath not condemned him, and who is not fallen from his hope in the Lord.
Somebody break that down. Blessed is the man that have not slipped with his mouth. Somebody tell me about it. Come on, let's talk.
Somebody that hasn't caused somebody to potentially fall away because of their misunderstanding of doctrine, but them thinking that they were right.
That's one example. What up?
So blessed is the man that has not slipped with his mouth and is not pricked with the multitude of sin. So if you pricked with the multitude of sin from the slip of your mouth, that means you're falsely condemning somebody when you're actually in the sin.
And you actually pricking yourself. You pricking yourself with a tongue you trying to speak against somebody else.
That's a hypocritical tongue.
Hypocritical tongue. Right? Next one was, blessed is he whose conscience have not condemned him and who is not fallen from his hope in the Lord. Somebody break that down.
That's guilt. All day.
Guilt. Remember, it starts in the mind. First of all, you have to recognize that you've sinned. A lot of us don't want to clean that mirror off. We like the dirt and dust on it, because we get to kind of creep into the clear holes in the dirt. But once that glass is clear, you see everything. And so a lot of us do not like to really see who we truly are. If you're a liar, you're a liar. Accept that's what you are, but you change it. Don't condemn yourself. You change it. If you're a whoremonger, you're a whoremonger. Stop trying to hide it. It is what it is. But don't condemn yourself to the point that you cannot change. And now, I mean, it's simple. How many of us have sinned and we didn't sin so bad, our conscience got to it that we stop reading, stop praying, can't remember the last time we fasted. And then all of a sudden you start feeling some type of way even being around people in the truth. That's you condemning yourself. Because we actually supposed to provoke each other to good works. So you trying to shy away what actually helps you by reading and fasting and praying and being around people. You're avoiding that, condemning yourself because you can't accept the fact that you are what you are. And that's been a problem with Israel since the beginning. Adam did not want to accept that it was his fault while sin entered into the world. Because the funny thing about it is, if he didn't listen to Eve, what would have happened? She probably just would have died on her own. But because brothers don't want to accept the fact that, you know what, I had my hand in the dirt too. It was my fault. Even if it's a little thing. It be the little thing we still can't accept. Is the reason why things will not change for us.
What you think it is? You think it's like pride?
Israel been prideful since the beginning, man.
Or it's like fear?
I don't think it's fear. It's just about, it's a pride. Pride is not just, oh, I know it all things. Sometimes pride is just not wanting to admit that you're wrong. Blessed is the man who has not slipped with his tongue. Right? So you opening your mouth trying to say you right, knowing you wrong half the time. You pricking yourself. You just hurting yourself. And you create more darkness and more leaven in yourself. And then wondering why this thing's not working out for you. Your wife is rebellious, not knowing she just got attacked by the same spirit that's been embedded in you that you ain't been trying to let go of. See, that's the thing about white men. They outwardly show what's in you. Wow. That's the thing about it. They will outwardly show what's in you.
That makes sense because the wife is supposed to be a reflection of that. Of her
Oh, she's very assimilated, just not in the way you want. Very assimilated. And so the thing is, once you admit it, you actually let it go. You let it go. When we say, I rebuke you in Yehoshua's name, we're speaking life and taking away death. When you sit here and say, I know I didn't do it, but knowing you did it, you're just putting more death in you. I was telling the sisters, lying, anger, wrath are all sicknesses. And this is science too. You hold anger in long enough and stress, your body actually starts to deteriorate. This is why we have to speak life and let go of the sin, because we want to be healthy. Whether you know it or not, these words actually birth health into you. It heals you. How you think the apostles of Mashiach was able to say, in the name of, boom. In the name of, boom. Because what they were speaking came from the heart and mind and was true. So when you see people trying to talk about this truth and it just ain't working and ain't fixing nobody, because the truth is not in you. So therefore these truthful words are voided because you are dark. And you are like the earth before light.
Without form or void.
Without form or void. What you speak can determine where your life is and where you go. And it can either kill or make alive. Did the Father say, I kill and make alive? So who did he create in his image to do the same thing? We kill and make alive. Just not at his place, but we kill and make alive too. Or your family ain't right? What are you speaking over them? Or are you speaking at all? Proverbs 18:21.
Death and life are in the power of the tongue.
Say it again.
Death and life are in the power of the tongue. And they that love it shall eat the fruit of thereof.
Thereof. They that love what? They love what?
One or the other. If you love death, you're going to eat the fruit thereof. If you love life, you're going to eat the fruit thereof.
Simple. Proverbs 18:21. Death and life are of the tongue. You have the right to speak life over your son once he comes into the world. And it will be so. If you are in right standing with the Father. But then you also have death you can speak over your son. And you ain't doing the right thing as a father. And more so a husband. Because then he'll start repeating the same mistakes you did. So we have to understand the power of what we have. The Father gave us that. You understand that? When he said likeness, he wasn't just talking about these good looks we got. He was talking about we have a piece of his power within us. But we aren't able to release it if we just keep piling on filth and dirt.
So we do have the power to bring somebody back alive.
The apostles did it.
I believe so.
If you believe in this book,
I believe so.
the apostles did it.
I think we're just not there yet, but I believe
Think about why ain't we there yet?
But
We really think that just because we know we Hebrews, that we're now functioning as Hebrews.
Mashiach actually said it when he called them wicked and faithless servant. They don't believe.
If you don't believe, you can know this word from back and right. From front to back, right? But if you don't believe by action, then it don't matter what you say. It's formless. And it's void. And this is why you got to really ask yourself, why can't Israel do what they used to do? Nobody can do it. After 50 plus years of knowing the truth, and nobody healed nobody? By the Spirit?
Has that even happened?
What?
Somebody in Israel healed somebody?
In this book, yeah. Peter was walking around like, hey, bro, Peter was,
He means talking about today's time.
that's what I'm saying.
He said that's it. He said
Nobody doing it.
Oh, okay.
Because the first thing is nobody's actually getting their family in order. So remember, how can a man rule over the people of Yah if he cannot rule over his own household? Have you figured out how to heal your wife from her problems? Is your child still in the system? This is some harsh reality. We gotta be like, yeah, you right. We ain't where we at. And it's the truth. Ain't nothing wrong with the truth. The truth does hurt, but at the end of that hurt is beauty. Just like surgery. Surgery hurt, you dig it. You digging real deep. Then you get to stitching up the hill, and then the pain gets a little softer and softer, and then now you wake up from amnesia. And you fixed. And that's what the Father's trying to do with us, but we sitting here trying to have stiff flesh. Trying not to let the needle go in. Right? You're resisting. Right? We're not trying to have that sleep that was put over Adam before Eve came. We're trying to have that slumber of the eyes. Where we don't really want to see the truth. But really sitting here trying to prophesize what's to come. Well, we have not that power. You ain't seen one prophet who has received a direct prophecy from the Father in this time and has come true. Why is it any prophets in our time? And I ain't talking about one who labeled themselves as prophets and uses another man's prophecy. I'm talking about actual prophet.
I was gonna say, what about Christians when they, say prophets or whatever? Because I ran into many of them.
But I ain't even gonna touch on the Christianity. I'm talking about Israel right now. That's a whole nother idea. That's easy right there. As you would say another day, it's easy work. Right? That's easy. Right? But I'm talking about Israel because Israel is supposed to be the light, not Christians. Christians ain't the light. They just like, it's a whorehouse. That's it. The mosque, a whorehouse. Right? Whore's trying to get it fixed. Or a covering. That's it. But to be a Hebrew, an actual Hebrew, you must already be fixed. And ready to bring more in the likeness of yourself. But how can you do that if you're not taking the necessary steps to fix yourself? It's all about what you speak. Y'all believe in affirmations, right? Mm-hmm. Affirmations. Right? How many of y'all actually speak life into yourself every day? Being honest. How many of y'all actually talk to yourself and speak life into yourself? Raise your hand. Bruh. You see what I'm saying? Mm. So how can we speak life into others if we can't even do it with ourselves? Because the word say meditate on the word day in and day out. So we can't be prosperous with others if we haven't found out how to be prosperous with ourselves. You understand? Yeah. How many of y'all thank the Creator more than asking for forgiveness?
As far as prayer,
as far as
it's praying, right?
That's a good question.
Thank you every day.
Well,
I think it's 50-50 to me.
Yeah, it's kind of like.
I mean, just reality. That's a real question.
That's 50-50.
How many of y'all thank the Creator more than asking for forgiveness?
Even if I'm asking for forgiveness, I do still thank you.
And it be in the same prayer too.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
It'd be in the same prayer. I agree with that.
You see? We can't start with speaking life into others if we can't speak it into ourselves.
That's deep.
We try to speak life into our wives. No, in the back of our mind, behind closed doors, we sit here talking about, damn, I can't get it together. What am I going to do with my life? But sit here telling you, woman, you need to be doing this, and that. But can't figure out how to put your shoe on. We got to stop being hypocrites.
Until you make it out. Psalm 52 and 2.
Psalm 52 and 2. Ellie, what's going on, man?
Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom. I look like you came back darker.
I said 50.
Look like you came back darker.
No, that's that glow. That's the glow, man.
Yeah.
Glow.
Oh, yeah. Hallelujah. 52 and 50. Psalms 52 and 50. Psalms 52 verse 2, I'm sorry.
52 verse 2.
Yeah.
He said he came back dark. He said that's like low.
Thy tongue deviseth mischiefs, like a sharp razor working deceitfully. Thou lovest evil more than good.
Thou lovest what?
Thy lovest evil more than good. And lying rather than to speak righteousness.
Right. And so even you teaching the people how to be right, but you're not doing, you're lying. You're actually lying. You understand that?
Blasphemy, really.
If you want to go that extent, I want you to show them a little
Some
mercy.
people come in the name of the Father doing it.
Woo! That's very true. That is very true. You want to teach it, but ain't living it. You're lying to yourself and the person you teach it. You need to keep the Sabbath, but you breaking it. You need to stop eating this, but you just had. You just had some shrimp scampi the other day.
He not the shrimp scampi. That boy got exotic. He got cuisine. We went to the cuisine.
You know how it is when we like to dress stuff up, man. We don't want to really see what we eat, man, so we dress it up. Put a little bit of aroma on it. You know what I'm saying?
The herbs.
Right? Brother, you supposed to be wearing fringes. Brother, what you... Bro, you got a UPS outfit on.
UPS.
Bro, real talk though. You supposed to be wearing fringes and you look down like, why you dressed like a Gentile like me? This is the hypocrite state that Israel's in. So the truth that you're speaking is actually bringing more depth, because they looking at you and they say you look like the same depth that's on me. You look like the same sin that I'm battling with. So it's how you present it. How you present it. Oh yeah, bro. You know, I'm gonna tell you, right now I'm in error, so please forgive me. I ain't got mine though, but you know the commandments does say we're supposed to wear our fringes, so you know it's the word I'm supposed to give you, but I ain't in sin. That's a humble response, right?
I'll accept that more than
hey, bro. Bro, you looking bad, bro.
you going off.
You going off, Pop. You ain't got no fringes on. You dressed like a lumberjack man, right? Going all the way in. And he looked down. He's like, "What are fringes?" And you look down.
Cut.
Oh, they look like these little things. Look like locks, and you're supposed to wear them on your garments. Now you're sitting here trying to explain manually because you ain't got them on. Power of the tongue. You can literally turn somebody away from the truth by your actions. And so Israel has to get in a place where we just start speaking life. I became a barbarian to the barbarians. I understood them. And they saw that I came to them humbly, understanding them enough for them to actually listen to the gospel I need to teach them. Right? Sometimes you just listening to somebody can actually open up them to actually hear what you got to say. And I've been definitely guilty of that. You sit here trying to tell them, and they just automatically disagree. Now the lion coming out. The lion coming out now. Well, hold on, didn't Mashiach come as a sheep first? You ain't even seen the lion side of the Messiah. So we supposed to be like him at service on earth. And serving the people in compassion and truth, yet you want to talk to me as if you're a lion and I'm the hyena. Tell me how that works. Tell me how it works. You got to be understanding. This is why I go to Titus 2. These are characteristics that we supposed to have as mature men. Compassion. Right? Temperate. Patient. Sober-minded. I just went over this with the women. To be sober means you have good judgment. So that even when it comes to the truth, you may tell somebody the truth, but it may not be the right time to tell them. That's just, look, everything is about timing, right? Everything happened in the season. Now, how many of y'all done told somebody the truth, and it probably wasn't a good time. But then over time, by just your actions, they called you and say, you know what? I see what you were saying was right.
My mother.
You said like an actual.
Your actions. right? Power of the tongue. Obviously, something didn't work then that resonated with them. But then, how you spoke, meaning how you start to change, how you talk to people. The affirmations you start to put out. The positivity start to pull out. And so now they get to looking at your lifestyle and say, hold on. This lifestyle changing into that? Right? That speaks volumes and life into somebody's life. But we cannot do it constantly bashing and speaking death. You throwing more stones than anointing oil. So let's get an example of that. Numbers chapter 12, verse 1. Numbers chapter 12, verse 1. I'm going to show you this is not Israel's job to cast out judgment. Not yet. It's not Israel's job to say who is who. How you know who the 1/3 is? You only been in truth for 3 months. Christ don't even know when he coming. How do you know that?
I don't even know when he's coming. Only the Father knows.
How you know that? He don't know that.
That's facts, though.
Numbers 12 and 1.
And Miriam and Aaron spake against Moses because of the...
What happened?
And Miriam and Aaron spake against Moses.
His own brothers and sisters spoke against Moses. Miriam and Aaron spoke against their own brother in the flesh. Who's supposed to know the truth is out of bondage.
After
Out of bondage, right? You still got something in you, clearly. Come on.
And and Miriam and Aaron spake against Moses because of the Ethiopian woman.
So hold on. What's Israel's thing? We ain't supposed to be with no Gentile woman. Boom, 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 boom. Hold on. This is Ethiopian. Hold on. Is she Hebrew?
No. I mean, yeah.
Oh, yeah, she is Hebrew.
Yeah, she is.
Is she Israelite?
No.
Oh. Also, obviously, the Father made a way where this righteous man right here, who led the Israelites out of captivity, to have a Gentile woman in his presence. And not only that, but blessed her. Oh, Israel says this is what shouldn't happen. Oh, well, let's see what happened to Israel, since they think they know everything. Come on.
And Miriam and Aaron spake against Moses because of...
And real quick, by the way, I'm not saying you should be with any Gentile woman. I ain't putting that message out. The point is, sometimes people's walk may not be to our understanding, but don't mean they wrong.
Okay.
Come on.
Because of the Ethiopian woman whom he had married. For he had married an Ethiopian woman. And they said, hath the Lord indeed spoken only by Moses? Hath he not spoken also by us? And the Lord heard it.
So now, we look at certain things in life, right? So only the Most High said you could do that? Only the Most High allowed you to do that? And live like that? Also, he ain't said that for all Israel, huh? You different. Oh, your walk different than mine. Absolutely. Absolutely.
If I could add to that, I think even when we really look at that story, the Ethiopian woman was the reason, that was the excuse for them to come against Moses, because Moses, they felt like Moses was putting himself, she felt like Moses was putting himself in a place of authority. Mm-hmm. So she was looking for something that appeared seemingly unrighteous.
Yep.
To attack his station.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't really about,
Poke a hole in his image.
to poke a hole in his image. It really wasn't about so much the Ethiopian woman. Mm-hmm. It was about Moses' position with the Most High.
Right.
She was really coming.
And that's what Israel trying to do.
Yeah.
They do it with the I guess you could say most known people in Israel. Let me find something. Let me find something to get on this nigga right here. Let me find something. I just need an inch of evil. Or I just need to look like something evil, something bad.
He said look like.
I just need it. Right?
See, he got ordered. He ain't under the Most High.
Oh, this nigga ain't got fringes on, man. He on fire.
His beard ain't right.
Oh, man, he done cut an inch off his beard. This man is shamed. Oh, her dress a little too tight, huh? Leave it off! Right? What we be looking for, oh, he put too much sugar in that wine. That man drinking pork now. Hey, Israel be reaching, boy.
Hey, on their tippy toes.
On their tippy toes. But they sitting there with, drinking the same wine. Look, he didn't put too much sugar. Mine cool, but he put too much sugar. That nigga's off, man. Am I lying? Am I lying?
No.
Oh, I don't agree with that man's doctrine. Oh, okay. He's a Hashatan. We got the truth over here.
Real truth.
But you rape women, huh? I don't understand. This is Israel. We be searching. And this is what Miriam and Aaron was doing. They was trying to understand something beyond their understanding. This is scripture. That's why the scriptures say, do not seek out things beyond your understanding. If you don't get it, if you don't know why they're doing it, be quiet. Put your hand over your mouth and shut the hell up.
Because if you watch me finish reading it, the Most High gonna diagnose what their real issue is.
Oh yeah, he
ain't even bring up Ethiopia.
Oh no, he not. He not.
Like, oh, I talked to you in dreams, bitch. I talked to him face to face.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't know. You ain't even in the rank to understand why I'm doing what he's doing.
And it's like, who are you?
Who are you?
Who are you? You are nothing. You want to keep bringing out the scripture about spittle and water, you spit is nothing. You are nothing. Who are you to question what I allow? That's just like Josiah, your daughter get older, right? And your wife do something, right? But you told her to do it. And she said, "Oh, I thought Daddy said that we weren't supposed to do this." And she go to your wife, "Mommy, Imai, father said this." And she looking at you like, well, why are you letting her do it? Who are you to tell me what I can allow and not can allow? Right. Isaiah 55:8. My thoughts are not your thoughts. My ways are not your ways. So who are you to speak against what I have ordained? Yes. You know, right, yeah. Just like this. We ain't supposed to have Gentile women. Guess what? Most High allowed it. Not only that, but out of the 2 out of 4 women that Jacob had, that was with Gentile women. Oh. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Mashiach says, when you see me, you see him. Hold on, brother. What do you mean? What do you mean? If I see you, I see him. I come in my Father's name. Who are you? But who are you to tell me I didn't? That's why Mashiach had to tell the Pharisees when he was doing stuff, if I told you the truth, you still wouldn't understand. You still ain't gonna believe. So why do I gotta explain myself to you? And that's to go back to the scripture. He who slipping with his, not slipping with his tongue shall be blessed. What you slip with your tongue, you pricking yourself. You ain't the Messiah, prick. You ain't the Son of Man, prick. Most I ain't ordained you to do this, prick, prick. And you just sitting there bleeding out, don't even realize you're killing yourself. Silly. You better be careful with your tongue to offend the little ones. Israel better get tight, because you're going to take an account for every ill word you said. Every ill word. Oh, you don't agree? That's fine. I still love you though. Oh no, I can't even be around you. You gonna get struck by lightning doing that shit. Boy, Israel be going, don't we? We type in all types of realms, boy. For real. Let's keep reading numbers. Let's see what happens.
And they said, hath the Lord indeed spoken only by Moses? Hath he not spoken also by us? And the Lord heard it. Now the man Moses was very, very meek, above all the men which were upon the face of the earth. And the Lord spake suddenly unto Moses and said, and unto Aaron and unto Miriam, come out ye three unto the tabernacle of the congregation.
He said front and center.
Oh yeah.
Everybody.
I need all y'all plus the one y'all spoke against. Oh yeah. Because he need to witness if he even think about doing this, what's going to happen to him too. And which later happened because what? Oh, he got angry about what Israel was doing when he ain't supposed to be doing that? Oh, okay, now you're going to watch from the mountaintop. I need you to witness what's happening because the same thing you're going to think you're going to do, which is really going against me, that's the ultimate thing, you're going against me. Oh, because you did that and you made my anger fire, you're going to sit in the mountaintop too. And you're going to watch your people go into the promised land. Come on.
And they three came out, and the Lord came down in the pillar of the cloud, and stood in the door of the tabernacle, and called Aaron and Miriam. And they both came forth. And he said, hear now my words. If there be a prophet among you, I, the Lord, will make myself known unto him in a vision, and will speak unto him in a dream. My servant Moses is not so, who is faithful in all mine house. With him will I speak mouth to mouth, even apparently and not in dark speeches. And the similitude of the Lord shall he behold.
And this ain't the same thing Messiah said to the apostles. I don't need to speak to y'all in parables because y'all believe.
That's beautiful.
Right? You seeing the so that's the whole thing about Messiah in the Old Testament. I don't even get that. He right there. He right there. This is the same speech he gave to the apostles. I don't need to speak to you in dark parables. I'm speaking directly to you. Right? And he's breaking down to them who Moses is. This is my faithful servant. He ain't your servant. He's my servant. In my house.
Read that one more time. Always says similitude.
With him will I speak mouth to mouth, even apparently and not in dark speeches. And the similitude of the Lord shall he behold. Wherefore, then...
Y'all know it. Y'all catch that.
What is
Similitude.
He said to y'all, he's me.
Oh.
He's my image to y'all. He's walking after my similitude.
Similitude.
No, not similate. Similitude means likeness. Like a facsimile, like a facsimile. He's saying Moses is after my similitude to y'all.
Like
He's
almost like
God to y'all.
like almost like a simulation.
No, not a simulation. It could be, but
It's
it's
in a similar way.
right.
Yeah.
He's
Similar,
literally saying
similitude,
similitude.
simulation.
So he's basically saying he's me to you two. I'm talking to him. I'm talking from mouth to mouth. So what he's saying to you is like as if it was coming from my mouth itself. I've talked to y'all in dreams and dark sayings. But he's me to y'all. Y'all get it?
Right.
Okay.
Come on.
Wherefore then were ye not afraid to speak against my servant Moses? And the anger of the Lord was kindled against them, and he departed. And the cloud departed from off the tabernacle.
Let's start right there. See, this is what we gotta understand. When you speak it and in your dealings with people, even if you feel like you're telling the truth, the way you do it and how the reaction to it can cause the Father to leave you. So how we present this truth to people, if it causes them to turn even more away, the Father's no longer going to be with you because that was not your duty. He didn't tell you to go out and do that. He told you to call the sheep in. But he told you to do it with compassion, sincerity, and truth. You understand? So we have to be very careful what we're saying because the sole purpose is to win souls, not lose them. Come on.
And the cloud departed from off the tabernacle, and he behold, Miriam became leprous, white as snow. And Aaron looked upon Miriam, and behold, she was leprous. And Aaron said unto Moses,
Watch this.
Alas, my Lord, I beseech thee, lay not this sin upon us.
Hold on, wait. Who was he saying that to?
Moses.
Why did he say that to Moses?
Oh, so now
Yeah, all of a sudden, oh, we got some respect here.
Moses is your Lord now, huh? Oh, that's your master, huh?
Sound like Israel to me.
Oh, you want to repent, do you?
Sound like Jake.
You want to ask for forgiveness now. When you should have had that or really held your peace of something you did not understand. Come on.
And Aaron said unto Moses, Alas, my Lord, I beseech thee, lay not the sin upon us, wherein we have done foolishly, and wherein we have sinned, let her not be as one dead, of whom the flesh is half consumed when he cometh out of his mother's womb. And Moses cried unto the Lord, saying, Heal her now, O God, I beseech thee.
And now, this has to also go into the flip side of things too. Because again, it's the power of the tongue. Nowhere did you see Moses curse Mary, did you?
No.
But when it was time to heal, he spoke for her. How many of y'all can do that when somebody's offended you? I mean, because remember, the sun should not go down on your wrath. How many of y'all actually fixed the solution before the day was over? How many of you have fixed the problem before the day was over? Yeah. You're supposed to fix it that day. Remember, you can't even do the works to the Most High. You can't even bring a gift to the altar without reconciling with your brother, reconciling with your sister. So it's a flip side to this too. Yeah, you may have not offended, but are you forgiving them? Can you accept they probably not only accept it, but pray for them?
Oh, so that's why I say woe to those who give offense and woe to those who the offense comes.
It's a two-edged sword, man. It works on both sides. Most High knew what he was doing when he created his law. And so Moshe did what a good brother should do. And he prayed for his sister. Cried out for his brother and sister. Yes.
Okay, so y'all, you know how you be like, oh, the truth is in somebody before they even know it, and you know what I mean?
No, say it again.
Like the truth is in you before you know of the truth.
I never said that.
So are you saying like there's something in you that
compels you to do the right thing?
Oh yeah, okay, got you. Yeah.
So because like recently about what happened with me and Canuck, for some reason I wanted to call Elder just to speak with him, but something just told me, I don't know why, I didn't have a thought, but I was thinking about calling Elder. And for some reason I did not want to call Elder until I spoke to Canuck and let him know that I apologize. Even though I had already done so, just like one-to-one, I gave him a call. But I couldn't tell you why, couldn't tell you what made me do it, because the thought on my mind was call Elder. For whatever reason, it was call Elder. I wanted to speak with Elder. But something in me just told me, let me, like you said, reconcile. We cannot.
It's one of your senses. People know when they do wrong. Believe it or not, they can fight, they can argue, yeah, but then they know when they're wrong. Or they know that when they're not in a place of actually trying to understand people. Some people hear people just to talk, and some people hear people just to understand. Right.
See, and then that's why we see, like, we got to understand order, right? Like, even how Mary, immediately when the cloud departed from their midst, Yah basically established Moses Elohim is the principle with Moses. He's like, he didn't go around and say, yo, man, yeah, my bad, Moses, I'll be back. I'm about to go pray to the Most High. At that point, the Most High established, you better get right with this man. This man is me. Right? This man is me. Get right with him. So Aaron began to petition Moses, and Moses go be actually give them forgiveness. But you're seeing the Elohistic principle coming out and being played right here with Moses as the similitude of the Most High. So lots of times, even when he says if we try to go to the Father without HaMashiach, we're coming as a robber and a thief, because he is the point of contact with the Most High. So what you were saying is like you knew you had to, before you got to me, you had to fix the breach between you and your brother. You see what I'm saying? So that the principle of Elohim was working in you. You say, I offended my brother. Why would I go straight to my elder or my superior if I still know I'm not in right standing with my brother? Right? And that's what we got to do. But if we got this very individual mindset and not understanding the chain of command and how the Most High deals with things, he's a power of structure. He establishes structure. So when we do offend one another, don't come to me until you make things right with your brother. You see, because you may not see the offense. You may, and then you may not, or you may dismiss the offense, but that don't mean I haven't. You got to make things right with him, and that's what we all got to do. You see. So there's principles being played out, even as Mika'EL was teaching the lesson. Go ahead, brother.
And that's just real talk. I mean, just think about all the. Let's talk about something key. How many splits we done seen in Israel?
Too many.
With congregations, camps, right? How many actually reconcile yet? How can we say we're trying to do the works as a nation when we haven't even reconciled with our brothers who we see in the flesh? See, Israel don't realize we're not in captivity because we just keep serving time. We're in captivity because we ain't getting it right yet. You can't keep blaming it on the curses. Oh, the tender and delicate man among you shall have an evil eye towards his brother. But you know that. And so if you know this scripture, you done said it 20 times, why you still got beef?
And if you truly in HaMashiach, he did away with the curse of the law. So if you really in him, you're not really under the curses. You're under him. So if you're under him, you're getting in right order. You're getting it back. You're getting in proper position. You're getting in the right mind. You got the mind of Mashiach. So now you begin to actually get into a place of functionality where you can actually begin to, like, yo, I have the authority to make peace with my brother. I don't just got to say, man, well, this is just the evil eye toward my brother. So I don't even got to, this is just the way it is with Israel.
Just default.
No, by default, we default to that. No. It said, blessed are who? The peacemaker.
Question about the curses, right? So, even in Deuteronomy 28, doesn't it say that if we abide by the law, that we're not under the curse?
Right. He said, well, we're going to, he said, and I think it's, well, you got, go ahead.
That's the truth. I mean, to be under a curse literally means you have denounced the Father. You've denounced the Mashiach. So, once you put yourself back in good standings with him, are you really still under?
Right. No, you're not.
Okay, another man shall lay with your wife. Okay. So now that you understand family and biblical structure, right? And you get it the right way, are you still under it now?
No.
You still got your children, right? Are you still under that curse?
No. That's what we're doing. We're reverse engineering the curses. And this is how the bride is made ready. If he's come back for a bride without a spot or wrinkle, then that bride, Israel, is at some point going to be in a perfected state. We're not going to be functioning in the curses.
Not all of us.
Right.
No, I mean, again, those of us who ain't a part of the bride. We ain't.
Right. And so even with that saying the latter days, you look at the times of the curses, or when they're about to get out of captivity, we're nowhere close to that. Really, when you look at what was going on with Israel, because as the torment started to rise up, we actually started to come more together. And it wasn't just about gatherings. We actually started to function together. It wasn't about, let's come all together, let's do these events and let's come together and say, blah, 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 rise to the Most High, rise to Israel. No, it was actually come together and function now. Gathering is cool, but then what after? We go back to our corners that we was teaching on. We go back to under our titles and labels. Yeah. There's no nationhood in that.
Right, we got to function together. Because that's what the bride is. That's what the woman. I always say the real mystery of the bride of Christ. We see it in the Proverbs 31 woman. That's who she is. That's how we should be functioning. We are operating as a functioning woman that's about her husband's business. That's about glorifying her husband by way of her actions and deeds.
And that's why I said, who can find her?
I agree with that.
They make crafty counsel against the hidden ones. Right, Proverbs 31, who can find her? Who can find her? Y'all follow me?
Break it down.
So in Proverbs 31, it talks about this beautiful, eloquent, and submissive woman, right?
Hard working too.
Hard work.
Hard work. I mean, she making sure her husband's house is perfected,
Yes, sir.
right?
And her husband was known at the
And
gate.
she said her price is above rubies. She's a virtuous woman. Who can find her? And so then you go to Proverbs 83, and it talks about they make crafty counsel against the hidden ones. The thing is, we're hiding ourselves now. She can't be found because she's not here. Israel's not there. And so until we get there, until we go beyond the clouds and the Father can see us being that virtuous woman, because it's about action. For you to get something, you have to give. It don't work like that. Father just ain't gonna be blessing us just cause He loves us. Remember, He didn't love us because we were the most out of the nations, because we were the least. It's about work. You gotta put in work. And when Israel's in that mindset, right? Prophesying righteously, praying, vibrations up out of this world, and it's actually clean prayers and not filthy prayers, and we're speaking life into each other, then Israel shall start to really be healed. To know who you are, to know you're an Israelite is like a child at 5 months in the womb knowing what type of sex it is. To know, just because you know who you are, you're an Israelite, is like a child when they're in their mama's womb and you just found out who the sex is.
The gender.
The gender, yeah. You just found out what the gender was.
Now what?
And so now we're through the process of getting processed, and now we're about to start going through travail as a mother does before birth. And then we're going to see at whatever time the children of light. You found out you was Israel, but you got an opportunity to be birthed and become a children of light, or you know you're Israel and by the end be aborted. Because now they're making the law, you can be aborted at 36 weeks, 38 weeks. So now putting that in retrospective of Israel, you know you're Israel at 5 months, 3 months. So you go through now the process. And the thing about the process, you can get to the end and still not make it. And so through this process, you have a time of healing. You have a time of cleaning up. You have a time of now understanding Mashiach and being assimilated to Mashiach. So when you actually are birthed, when you speak, it is light coming out your mouth. Now we back to Genesis 1 and 3. And the Lord said, let there be light. And there was light. And it was good. And so that is the likeness that the Father put in men to be able to do. But we want to stay in the womb rather than come out. So either you're going to come out either way. Either through a tube or you're going to come out in fullness. But it starts with the mouth. It starts with what you're speaking. How you're cleansing yourself. So now you can teach people how to cleanse themselves. Okay?
Okay.
Let's go to James 1 and 19.
I'm sorry, it says Psalms and what?
James 1 and 19.
James 1:19.
Yep. Somebody got that? Yeah.
Wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, slow to
Be
speak.
swift to hear and slow to speak. So it's like this. If Humble has an issue and he get to a point of something I don't like, if I cut him off, will I actually get to the conclusion on how I can fix it? No.
Isn't that scripture too? Don't interrupt a man in the midst of his talk.
Mm-hmm. And we battle it. I've done it before.
Man, we all do.
Shit, me and Tate just did it. You know what I'm saying? That's just our relationship. We brothers. That's what brothers do. We argue. Right? But it never changed our relationship. Right? And so, sometimes we cut off people before actually hearing why they do what they do. And then we miss the opportunity to actually save a life. Y'all follow me? We can actually miss the opportunity by not being able to hear. And we can save a life. So, this is why we have to have compassion. This will come with compassion. This will come with understanding, being temperate, be able to hear the whole matter.
Listen.
Proverbs 18:13 tell you about that. He that answers a matter before he hears it is counted as a fool. So wherefore, my brethren, it's okay. We all have moments like that. It happens, but the point is to learn from it. The point is to learn from it. See, people hear you even in the midst of arguments. People do hear you, but if they receive it, it's based upon how you present it. And so, wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak. Understand the person before speaking. Understand the Christian, Muslim. Why do they do what they do? Why do they believe in that? What actually got them to that point? And so it's not sometimes the religion you stripping somebody from. You actually stripping them from their father or the one who taught them. And that be the biggest thing. But you have to understand that. I understand, brother, that you did learn from your father. And I understand that. And I learned from mine too. And I really did think that he was right. And I can say he did wrong, he just knew what he knew. But I'm trying to show you in this book. No, this is how we're supposed to live. Now that's more receiving than I'm like, hey bro, your father was wrong. He ain't know nothing. He thought he knew something, he ain't know nothing. This is the real book right here. This is the truth.
And you don't even really say nothing. You're saying other stuff.
And so, what's more receiving, the first or the latter?
Obviously, passion. First, for sure.
How we present things can save a life. We have to be very, very cautious on how we deal with people. Because you literally are, when you speak of something, especially if a person been doing it their whole life, you stripping them from their whole life. You stripping them from it. So what do you do when a person says, you know, in my life I was gang banging, selling drugs, and then I came to God and Jesus and I stopped. But they don't keep the commandments.
Right.
How do you present that? Then now how you gonna talk to them? Oh, brother, you still wrong. You off. This ain't how you do it. Well, hold on, brother. When I found God and Jesus, in their way, I stopped gang banging and whoremongering. How would you deal with that, homie?
I'll expose them to a higher truth while respecting their past at the same time. Well, their current state.
Talk to me. I'm that person.
Oh, you used to be a gangbanger.
I used to gang bang. I used to sell dope. I used to be a whoremonger, and then I came across God and Jesus, and I believed in it, and it saved my life.
Do you obey the words that Jesus said?
I believe in God. I believe in Jesus. I've been baptized.
You've been baptized, but do you listen to what he said specifically?
What do you mean by that?
All right. You know Jesus said not that one jot nor tittle shall abide by passing the law to all be fulfilled.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, if you truly believe in Jesus, you believe in the law.
He did away with the law.
He didn't say that. Paul said that. But I could show you. If you're willing to hear me out.
Was that good?
Good enough?
I think it was good. I would do it maybe a little bit.
You showed me.
I'd be like, all praises, you know, the Most High brought you out of gangbanging. He brought you out of dope dealing or whatnot. And, you know, I think now the Most High is working with you in steps and in seasons. Now I believe this is the season to where he takes you to a higher frequency, a higher level. Now I think it's time to start, you know, let's really dive into the law, statutes, and commandments that he told Israel to keep. And let's see if we can apply those, you know, to our lives now. Now that phase 1 has been taken care of, you know, you're not dope dealing anymore. You found the Messiah. Let's dive a little further into who the Messiah really was. What was they calling him? You know, just I would present it like in steps. Like, congratulations, you passed phase 1. You're no longer sinning and stuff. Now let's go to phase 2. I believe the Most High wants to bring you to this part now. Do it that way.
Oh, good. I like that. All praise. And see, that's different then. Hey, brother, you need to repent.
Now, stop what
You're
you
supposed to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. If you don't keep them, you 2/3. You're going to burn in the lake of fire.
How y'all look like that?
When that sky crack open, pow, it's open for you.
Why they bring the eye contact though? That's a little.
That's how I be. Hey, they be daggering their eyes.
Let me tell you what happens with that. An individual go either one or two ways. He's gonna say, "Bro, you crazy as hell." Because I've had a real experience, right? I had a real experience with the street. You ain't gonna tell me that. You know what I had was a real experience.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, yo, he changed my life. How can you tell me I'm not changed? Or, you know, what you got something more. Or he's gonna become a false convert. In other words, his pride is you're gonna appeal to his intellect, and you're gonna make him feel like he's doing this because you're presenting something he don't know. And what man wants to know something don't want to know something.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So he's like, man, that sounds good. You got me stuck, bro. I'm like, okay, tell me more. And then what end up happening is you'll get what you call an emulator. You get somebody who's making their image after that person when the Mashiach is already done, started the working process. And you just may be a door that's about to take that brother to the next level, as Jacob said. You see what I'm saying? But you don't want to see, but if you're out there trying to proselytize people and trying to just get them to be converted to your doctrine, then you'll get one of them, but their fruit is not going to remain. They're not going to be rooted in the truth. They'll be rooted in you. And if you ain't rooted in truth, then both of you will perish. Both of you go fall in the ditch. You see what I'm saying? Now, ask me the same question, what I would say in a situation with a brother like that. I'll meet you. And I say, hey, brother, what's going on? Hey, how you doing, brother?
I'm good.
Good. What's up with you, man? You know? I noticed you had a cross on your chest.
Yeah, I'm a Christian.
You're a Christian. That's what's up, bro. That's cool. But what do you know? I mean, that's cool. But as far as being a Christian, what do you think that means?
I mean, I believe it's, following God and believing in Christ.
So you Christ-like. That's what's up. So give me a little bit of your testimony, man.
I mean, well, grew up in a bad neighborhood, sold dope, gangbang, been through various women, I got many children, just made a lot of mistakes. And then while I was in jail, our brother came to me, talking about the word, he actually baptized me in prison.
Oh man, hallelujah.
And ever since then, I believed in God and believed in the name of Jesus Christ. My life has been changed.
Wow.
Now I go to church every Sunday.
Man. Hallelujah, man. Yeah, Most High is good like that, brother. That's what's up. So, obviously God loves you. You know what I mean? Obviously God loves you a lot, man. If he changed your life, that means a lot. But how do you love him?
I mean, I go to church, I give my tithe, and I try to stay in my word as best as possible.
But you understand, I mean, he showed you how he loved you because he delivered you from all these things. I'm asking you tangibly, how do you love him?
You got me there, brother.
I got you. Well, we understand that there's a way that we can respond to the Most High by showing how we show our love, just how he showed us he loved us from taking us from certain things. Then there's certain things he gave us that we can show and prove our love to him.
What you mean by that?
He said he tells us if we love him, keep his commandments.
You mean like the 10 Commandments?
Yeah, we could start there with the 10 Commandments. But but he tells you this about the 10 Commandments. Love. We could pretty much build all of the 10 Commandments in 2 commandments. Love thy God with all thy might and all thy strength, and then love your neighbor as yourself. But what does that mean to you when you hear that?
I mean, love him. I love him.
But even with that, there's certain ways you have to show love to somebody. Is it just emotions, or is there certain actions you got to take?
I don't sell drugs no more.
Good.
I don't gang bang. I try to treat my brothers and sisters the best way possible. I go to church. I give my tithes.
That's what's up. But actually, we're taught that in the scripture, especially in what some people call Old Testament, there's actually a way that we prove our fidelity, we prove our love to him. And then when we open up the 2 commandments, he says on these 2 hang all the law and the prophets. But have you ever put clothes on the hanger?
Yeah.
Right. But then when it's time to put them things on, you got to literally take them off and you got to put them on. But how would you know if you're putting on unless you go back to what actually is written? You see, so you have to show them how to love the Most High.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep. It ain't just about saying keep the commandments either.
Right. It's not just about keeping the commandments, because then you got to get into the commandments. You got to unpack it. You got to give them. You got to minister to where they at, because the thing is, anything that Yah takes out of you, you got to replace it with something good. Any habit that's broken, you know what I'm saying? Because we're going to serve something. When all he was talking about was serving sin. But now how do you serve the Most High? This is how we serve him. You see what I mean? So it's a way to approach. There's a
yeah, I did.
He said elder got game.
But seriously, that's how you break it down to people, man. It's about hearing what they're saying. It's about an approach. Like, y'all know me, I probably won't say nothing as far as telling them something. I'll ask 10 million questions just to get to the point where I got you on edge to try to see what I'm talking about.
You know what I heard though? Overall, like not to specify each step, I heard just love.
That's it.
Love versus condemnation.
That's all it is.
See, we think crying out loud is literally elevating our voice. Crying out loud is simply to speak a message. Woo! Crying out loud is to speak a message, not elevate your voice. That's not nowhere in the Hebrew at all.
And the truth is like thunder anyway. Like lightning. Truth in itself is going to shake you up. You see what I'm saying? Crying loud and sparing not is like, not only do you tell the truth, you don't spare the truth.
Right.
In other words, you don't
withhold
it. You give it as it is. But you can still do that in love.
And see, that's a doctrine of itself. And I used to follow that doctrine. But it's not really love in that. It's not. It really isn't. It's actually come out more hateful than love. Because you sit here yelling, and the thing is, you probably ain't do that before the truth. So you got the word as your defense, your shield, or now all of a sudden you feel like you got a right to yell at people. Well, because in the street, you would have got dealt with differently. The only thing saving you is the word. And really, that be the only thing saving some people. Is people hold back because they got the book. So they like, well, obviously it's something, but I just can't hear it. But for something they done got dealt with before. Oh, so now you want to fight your brother. But you follow Christ, he said give him the other cheek. He said give him the other cheek. Oh, you follow Christ till you get struck in your face, huh? Now the true you come out.
Right. Though I may be rude in speech.
Right.
That fall.
We gotta humble ourselves, man. Let's get back to James 1. James 1:19.
It's on me, right?
Yeah.
Wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath. For the wrath of man worketh not the righteousness of the Most High. Wherefore, lay apart all filthiness and superfluity of naughtiness, and receive with meekness the engrafted word.
What does engrafted mean?
It was engraved, right? Written.
You can write something engrafted, huh?
To like to be put in.
To put in whatever. It's almost like to impregnate somebody. And so it says, and receive with meekness the grafted and engrafted word. So we're supposed to impregnate people with the word. So think about this. When you land with a woman, you're not sitting there like, you filthy, wicked woman.
Hold on. Don't mean not use that word.
You filthy, wicked woman. You sitting there like, yeah,
I don't know, man.
yeah.
He said, I don't know.
Hey,
Elder going on.
You being dramatic.
Elder going up.
Yeah, right.
He got some sense to be like,
He like to give out war, man. But no, real talk. Majority, you just like, yeah, baby. Oh, you so good. Right. I rebuke thee.
That's messed up.
But you more so like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, you so beautiful, baby. I love you. You the best one. You know, y'all pillow talking. You the best woman I ever had. Go in the back of your mind, like. Cake it, right? But the point is, you talk to her softly with compassion. And you make her feel good. And majority of the time, she believes it.
You catch more bees with honey.
Being honest with you, she believes it. And so the same thing, but it's truth though. Same thing with truth is you want to caress them and have compassion, soothe them down. So they understand I'm not coming to you and have war, but I'm trying to show you how much I love you, baby.
Why you bopping like that?
Right? And so we have to be able to impregnate people with this truth. Right? Because then it says what?
Okay, boom. But be ye doers of the word.
After the engrafted
word, which is able to save your soul.
Which is able to save them, just like a woman. We redeem women when we take them to be our wives. Right? We redeem them. And so you are literally in the same process, but differently, helping redeem these souls by how you deliver the message of meekness to impregnate them with the spirit of Yah. And this is why the apostle said, I come not in my own name, but I baptize you or in the name of Yahushua Mashiach. Boom! They have impregnated them with the spirit to now be able to breathe and give life. Y'all follow me? Yeah. And so that's the same with us. So let's go to Proverbs 12 and 18.
Proverbs 12, 18?
Yeah.
There is that speaketh like the piercings of a sword, but the tongue of the wise is health.
Is health. That's what fruits and veggies and herbs is for, right? Is to redeem you from a better health estate, right? That's the same thing with our tongue. We should be able to heal, really. We should be able to heal people with our words, right? We should be able to speak life into people where they can get up off their feet and walk. We should be able to bring people back from this spiritual death. But if you're not coming from a place of love, sincerity, and truth, you won't be able to have that power. You'll have the power Hashatan. Because he gifts and blesses people too.
Okay.
Y'all following me?
Okay.
This is the power we have, brethren. You have this power. This is the power that was in Genesis 1. Let there be light. And the light was good.
The lip of the truth shall be established forever. But a lying tongue is but for a moment.
But a lying tongue, only the lip of the truth shall be established forever. So this is the thing. Whether people in wickedness or not, they know when you actually telling the truth. They know actually when you live it. How many of y'all got in an argument in your family and said, well, shit, you still doing this? You like, oh, snap. Oh. That was a quick one. Right? But the thing is, it really pissed you like,
I'm down.
Be ready to fight.
yeah, now you the wicked one. Oh, we gotta fight now. We gotta fight now in the name of your old sword. What? They slow the wrath, brother. Right? That's our people though, man. We be tripped out, man. We really be tripped out. And don't even consider our own ways, man. You ain't gotta elevate your voice to heal. You ain't gotta elevate your voice to put somebody to death. It's about what you say. And to be called the child of light means there is life in everything you do, especially your word. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
We go to Hebrews 10 and 24. We almost done.
10 and 24?
Mm-hmm.
15.
Hebrews 10 and 24.
You're right, if you saying something to somebody, you don't gotta necessarily yell it, because if what you're saying is true, they gonna feel it.
You're right. Regardless.
They gonna feel it. Like it's the moment they feel you beginning to speak on it, I already know what you about to say.
Right.
They gonna feel it. Like,
Here come
yeah,
the cut.
here it comes.
Mm-hmm.
And let us consider one another
Let us consider one another. Come on.
to provoke unto love and to good works.
This is what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to provoke each other to love and to good works. If I'm telling you to keep the commandments, I'm not going to spew out hate speech. First, I'm going to show you how to do it.
Commandments of love. I mean, they should be.
I'm going to show you how to do it. Because guess what? Before the Most High gave Israel the law in the wilderness, what did he show them first? He showed them love. I love you enough to bring you out first, knowing you still committed wickedness. And then I'm going to show you how to do it.
Hallelujah.
Actions before words. Because your actions is going to speak through your words. Right?
You really ain't got to talk.
Yep.
What is it, Hebrews? Right?
Hebrews 10 and 24.
Yeah.
You got the way. People just gonna follow.
They're going to follow. You ain't got to do nothing extra. You ain't got to put no extravagant and weirdo title on YouTube. You ain't gotta have the most longest and shiniest garment in the world. Yes. Huh?
That's you.
Hallelujah, man. It's the Most High.
Like
Right.
right. Be humble as a dove.
Wise as a serpent.
Yeah, humble as a dove, wise as a serpent, you know, because it's just like, y'all can be in the midst of an argument and you just come right in between them and just say something, like use the scripture or something.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Just think about Abraham. Do you think Abraham went in the land and came like, hey, Negroes, this is my land. Yeah, y'all need to give me your rights.
Hear ye, have lights.
But then now, look at the reverse. And look how Abraham dealt with Lot. Lot was tripping. And he ain't deserved nothing. He was tripping for real. And Abraham was so loving. He said, look, bro. Look. Pretty much, I love you enough I'm going to give you what's actually mine. And not only that, I'm going to let you take that piece of the land. We can split it.
Right.
And saved him when you got in beef.
And saved him.
Right.
Because sometimes, look, even though, this is the message. Even though sometimes we think people wrong, it's not up to us to show them they're wrong. We have to let them go through it. And then go save them and say, look, brother, this is the right way to do it.
Hallelujah.
That's why Abraham was so wise.
He knew when to say stuff and when not to say stuff. You gotta let people go through their season and their process. It's not up to you to alter it or tell them where to go. You just give a message, they don't receive it, back up. Cool, listen. I love you, brother. May the Most High be with you. May He shine His face upon you. And I do, and I wish you will.
I mean that when you say it too.
And mean that. Most people say it because it's rehearsed.
I don't feel like talking to you no more. May the Most High bless you.
Shalom. Shalom. And don't even really mean it. That's the state of Israel, man. But look, I wanted to show y'all this, man. Because I seen this, I said, hold on. What type of question was this? And then you got to understand the time of what's going on, too. This is where Israel. See, Israel is in a place where we want to take things into our own hands. Right? We want to make things happen on our time, right? And then all of a sudden we find out we have a false prophet who gave a false prophecy. 2000 came, nothing happened. 2010 came, nothing happened. 2019's here, nothing's happening. Right? Because Israel don't know how to just be still and shut up.
No.
And just listen. So watch this. Judith 8 and 12. This is the most thought-provoking question I've ever heard in my life. Judith 8 and verse 12.
You said Judith?
Yeah. Judith chapter 8 verse 12.
Read it.
Please, brother.
And now, who are you that have tempted the Most High this day, and stand instead of the Most High amongst the children of men? And now,
Start it over one more time. I'm sorry.
And now, who are you that have tempted the Most High this day, and stand instead of the Most High amongst the children of men?
So now Israel, right? We're in captivity, right? We're supposed to be servants. So Judah's like, who are you to stand in the stead of the Most High in front of the children of men? Who are you to think you got that much power? Kiss my boo. To stand in the stead of the Most High in front of the children of men. Who are you? Watch what she say.
And now try the Lord Almighty, but you shall never know anything.
Woo! Now watch this.
For you cannot find the depth of the heart of man, neither can you perceive the things that he thinketh. Then how can you search out the Most High that hath made all these things, and know his mind, or comprehend his purpose?
Ooh! Hold on. So she said, you can't figure out how to deal with men. You can't even present this truth the right way. How you going to understand the Most High if you cannot understand men? And I had to sit there and think about this like, hold on. This goes back to the scripture. How can you love God who you have not seen, but hated your brother? Like, really think about that. She said, this is a woman. Women need to be silent in the church. Yeah, I understand that. But women have wisdom too. And they know time when to say something and when not.
Wisdom is a
Wisdom is feminine, isn't it?
It is.
And so she was speaking. She said, well, eloquently in meekness. Well, how can you
Judith was fine, man.
woo? And she was. You read up, she talking about, well, she was beautiful.
They said she was beautiful.
And you know Israel, weak men, they bow to knee that one.
They can't.
I do anything for that one. So she hit him, since she had him in that place, she hit him with a question. Since you're here now,
Since I got your
let me ask you a question. How can you, if you cannot understand the heart of men, nor even perceive the things that they think, how can you search out Yah, who made all things, right? How can you even know his mind or even comprehend his purpose? You have not figured out even how to deal with yourself, nor men. So how can you understand the Creator himself? I know God. It's Israelite. I ain't talking about the Christian. I know God. We got a relationship. I know how the Most High deal with me. Oh, do you now? Oh, do you now? Well, why you ain't out here healing? Oh, you can gather people? And the Pharisees did too.
Promoters do that.
Promoters do that. So what? What's next? Oh, you're eloquent with words. Good job. Tell me something that the next person ain't doing. But are you actually changing people's lives to where it ain't about you but the Creator? How many people give you compliments and you receive them? How many people give you compliments but you actually receive that but send it to the Father?
I can't take compliments.
You better listen to people. Oh man, you a good brother. Oh, hold on, brother. The water, brother. Good job. Thank you. Hold on. Where the Father at?
Matrix that thing.
Oh, it ain't me, brother. It's the Father. All praise to Mashiach. Because you just a vessel.
Right.
You just a vessel, you're not the head. The finger is no greater than the thumb.
Okay.
So it ain't because at the end of the day, both of these are functioning because the head told it to do so.
For sure.
Yeah.
So who are you to even accept the compliment? You should be sitting there like, nope, ain't me. Ain't me. No, no. It's the Father. It's the Father, damn it. It's the Father. Right? But we so, oh man, I feel good. I feel good. Proverbs 27, let's see. I did this. I did that. I gathered these people. Man, I done did this in the world. And Solomon did a lot too. But look what happened to him. He was finished. Proverbs 27.
Boast not thyself of tomorrow.
Oh, so you want to tell me about what you did. What a good son. You're doing a good job telling about what you did. Who allowed you to do it? Come on.
Boast not thyself of tomorrow, for thou knowest not what a day may bring forth. Let another man praise thee, and not thy own mouth.
Not thy own mouth.
A stranger, and not thy own lips. A stone is heavy, and the sand weighty, but a fool's wrath is heavier than them both.
That's a bar.
Wrath.
Let's start right there.
That's a bar, yeah.
We're not here to boast about ourselves. We're not even here to get the glory. You know who gives us glory? No, Mashiach. Who gives him the glory? Who gives y'all wives the glory? You. Who gives the children the glory? The parents. So who are we to sit here and fix our mouth when we just came out the world 5+ years ago, 6+ years ago, and to say we somebody? You ain't a damn thing. You're dust. You've come from dust, and the dust shall you return. I don't care how many views you got. And you just got ears you like to hear. But are you healing them from their sickness? No, because you haven't healed yourself. You still trying to figure out how to keep the Sabbath the right way. Is it this day or is it this day? Facts.
Facts, though.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 6.
I love this book.
That was a crazy question. Hold on. You can't understand the hearts of men, nor know what he thinking. But you think you could comprehend and understand the purpose of Yah? That's heavy, ain't it?
I'm actually asked that same question to Nicodemus.
Hey, that's not, you understand that you being a lawyer, see, you being a lawyer, is that the part you talking about? Is that the part you talking about?
No, when he was like, if you can't comprehend earthly things, how you gonna comprehend heavenly things?
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 6.
For wisdom is a loving spirit.
For what?
For wisdom is a loving spirit.
A hateful spirit.
Loving.
Slothful.
Loving.
Wrathful.
Loving.
Loving spirit. Come on.
And will not acquaint a blasphemer of his words. For God is witness of his reigns, and and a true beholder of his heart, and a hearer of his tongue.
So the Most High, even though you may be speaking true, we know what your tongue really saying.
You're not slow.
You can say, oh, if you love me, keep my commandments, but you really saying on your tongue, you need to follow me if you want the truth. You ain't really saying follow Mashiach. You're just trying to build more members. You're just trying to get a crowd so people can hear your antics for another however long. But when it comes to this truth, and you really love people, you really want to, it don't matter how many people you got. You know how many people we had come through here and ain't here? At the end of the day, our message is what? As long as you got the truth, what you do. That's it. Our message from the beginning. We not here to keep y'all. We here to teach y'all from the angle that the Most High has given us. If you stay, hallelujah. If you go, we pray that you take what we taught you and apply it. That's it. Now, hallelujah, the Most High has blessed us with beautiful brothers and sisters around here, right? All praise to the Most High. But it's not our goal to just sit here and recruit. Not for our own benefit, we recruit for the Most High. We just here to be vessels and co-shepherds. That's it. Come on.
For the Spirit of the Lord filleth the world, and that which containeth all things hath knowledge of the voice. Therefore, he that spaketh unrighteous things cannot be hid.
You can't hide. You can't hide your real message. You can't hide your real thoughts and what you really want to say. Come on.
And that which containeth all things have knowledge of the voice. Therefore, he that speaketh unrighteous things cannot be hid. Neither shall vengeance, when it pusheth, pass by him. Punisheth pass by him.
You can't run from it. You're gonna have to make an account for every idle word you said. And the ones you didn't say. Because your mind speaks 1,000 words too. You forgot that's the first thing to speak before your tongue. For real. Come on.
For inquisition shall be made unto the counsels of ungodly, and the sound of his words shall come unto the Lord for the manifestation of his wicked deeds.
Y'all see that? You think you can go behind the door and say all these things. People may not be here, but your words are still manifested to the Father. Immediately. And the angels is sitting there writing it down. He said, this nigga said this. And this woman is what? Okay, we're going to make sure we take care of that.
I'm going to bring this back up.
And the crazy thing is, the Most High love a lot of y'all so much that he don't waste no time whooping you.
Facts.
And that's a beautiful thing, and it's a bad thing. Bro, everything you say, boom, it happened. Yeah.
So that's why David always said, blot out my transgressions.
Oh, because for David,
David said, put a bridle over my tongue.
Oh, yeah, he said, oh, bro, you
Like, bro, kiss my tongue.
Yeah, he put muscle over me, bro. Because right now I got some stuff to say. For real. But look, but you see why Most High loved him so much? Because he could be honest with himself.
He had a pure heart.
He had a pure heart to be, and it was about being honest. It's not about, not saying certain things. Because a just man falls 7 times. Right? But gets back up at 8. So the Most High know we going to fall. But he's looking for honesty within yourself. The best thing you can do on this earth is be honest with yourself. And to him. You can lie to whoever you want. You shouldn't lie, but the point is, if you can't be honest with yourself and him, who are you going to be honest with? If you commit a sin, you better be dropping your knees. Quick, Father, I know I messed up. I'm a sinner. I'm a filthy rag. I probably shouldn't even deserve to live right now. But I thank you for sparing my life. I thank you for giving me your mercy. Do whatever you're going to do. Chastise me. Just don't forget about it. I never knew. Can you imagine hearing, I never knew you? That's a powerful thing to say from that tongue. I never knew you.
You didn't want to hear that from your mom.
depart from me. I never knew you.
Whoa. And you know it's permanent after that.
Oh, ain't
It's not a repeat.
Most time the Shiites say they mean it. It's concrete. It's set in stone. It's done. Ain't no changing that. That's why I said double-minded man is unstable in all his way. You better say what you mean and mean what you say. Cause you're gonna have to take into account, even if you didn't mean to say it. And we all guilty in this room of it.
Facts. Made me think like, what did I say?
What did I think? I said forgive me.
Verse 10.
For the ear of jealousy heareth all things, and the noise of murmurings is not hid. Therefore beware of murmuring, which is unprofitable.
It's unprofitable to you. Means nothing. Come on.
And refrain your tongue from backbiting.
Which we all been guilty of. Every last one of us done talked about somebody behind their back. Whether we disagree with them or not. Because a lot of times we done spoke on the issue before actually talking to the person. We still backbiting. It's the truth. We've all done it. We just got to change, right? Come on.
Therefore beware of murmuring, which is unprofitable, and refrain your tongue from backbiting. For there is no word so secret that shall go from naught. And the mouth that belieth slayeth the soul.
Start right there. Power in the tongue, y'all. Power in the tongue. Everything we have said, we will take into account for good and bad. We're going to end it right here. Sirach 5, verses 10 through 15. We're right now.
See verse 10? Be steadfast in thy understanding, and let thy word be the same.
Don't be shaken. Don't keep switching what you believe in and what this is what it is. Be steadfast in your understanding. Be firm in what you believe. Right? And let that word be the same. So it shouldn't be you telling me something but you doing something different. If you said that, say what you mean and do it. Don't let your actions be so different from your words. You understand? Come on.
Be swift to hear, and let thy life be sincere, and with patience give answer.
With what?
With patience.
Say it again. With
patience give answer.
Everybody say it together.
With patience give answer.
One more time.
With patience give answers.
With patience give answers.
What that mean?
Think before you
Don't
speak.
talk.
Think before you speak. It said be swift to hear. That's the first thing. And let thy life be sincere. So you're not going to this person just try to convince them of the truth, but you're really going to actually save this person's life, right? And so then the patience part is you actually listening to why they believe what they believe, whether they in the truth now or they trying to come into the truth or they trying to hear the truth. Be patient, and then with patience give an answer. And it ain't all times at once. With the Israelite, Deuteronomy 28. Keep going. Sometimes it's too much. Sometimes we give steak to a baby when all they need is milk.
Facts. That baby's choking.
I'm choking and then they dead. Your mission has failed because you couldn't abstain yourself and have patience.
People thirsty, man.
I gotta let you know everything I know. I've been studying for 5 years. I'm like, yeah. 15-minute understanding. I'm about to give you an overload in 15 minutes.
Hey, bro, you about to get
Maximum
all this work.
You about to get every inch of this work.
Maximum.
Overload. And if you don't listen, you finish.
Yeah, you'll be so mad too.
You're gonna go to hell with gasoline draws if you don't listen to me.
You ever get mad when they not listening? Like when they try to that's what you saying. Cause that's why I agree with you saying, because you kind of gotta not over talk people and let them speak. Because the more that they reveal themselves, it's gonna be easier for you to hit a precept or a precept. But you so busy trying to get your whole breakdown down, you get mad while they talk.
Hey, man, you breaking my script out. This is a script I've got going on here. You know what I mean?
I want to be clear. I'm seriously talking about Israelites and Israelites. I'm not talking about. I am talking about people out the truth who trying to come in, but I'm specifically talking about Israelites talking with Israelites.
Okay.
Okay, you call on Yahuwah. That's cool. I don't mind that. You say Yahweh. Okay, well, you call from a different angle. It's just like a fire is set on a fire set. You looking at it from that angle, I'm looking at it from this angle, but we still looking.
Yeah, actually, these two. He said Cade, he said Khan. I said, man, elder. He said Cade.
Clean, God.
Right, which one is right?
Shalom, shalom, shalom. If you ever see my Instagram, I always say, hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. Wherever you call on, however you say it, peace be unto you, brother.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, I just want to love you. That's it. Let's come to an agreement. I don't really care. I used to be at that point. Then I had to sit back and say, what's the point?
It's vain.
What's the action? What am I trying to prove to you? Because at the end of the day, if you believe that hard, we just going to be arguing at the end, and nothing actually get resolved.
None of us got the full truth to the moment.
Right. Now, that's the difference is, you say Yahuwah, and I say Yahweh, and then you ask me, well, why you say that? Or tell me where you got that understanding. Right, his approach is very good. Oh, okay, you actually want to know. Or rather than, yo, why you say that name? Oh, that's off. That ain't the real name.
Out of order, bro.
Whoa. For 3 years, I've been doing miracles with this name. And you telling me I'm off now.
Some people are asking and still argue after that.
For 3 years, this name has saved my life from car accidents and drugs, and all of a sudden it ain't the real name. What was I calling on? Casper? Because there's no compassion behind it. Like, you try to prove a point, but you don't even believe in the name. You barely pray once a day. So you ain't really calling on no name anyway. Only time you speak the name is when you teach it. It was a reason why the Levites changed from saying the Father's name to saying the Most High or Adonai. Because they didn't feel worthy to say it. Because if you said it, you better be sincere.
Take the name of it.
So basically back on that, right? We would not even utter our parents' first name. We won't call them Suzanne. We'll say mother, give them a title.
Ooh, that's fire.
But we'll say the Most High's name and feel like we're worthy to do that.
You should be saying Abba.
That's fire.
Abba. Can you hear me?
And then the deep about that, that's how Mashiach comes in, and he said, in my name, you get all things from the Father. Right. He's setting up basically a route.
But that's the crazy part. It's just like a real household.
Right.
A lot of the times, if you came up in the house like with siblings, if the younger ones would talk to the big brother, he would petition to the parents like, hey, let me take him to the movies. Yeah. I'll take him to the movies.
Yeah. That right there debunks all Old Testament keepers right there, bro. Because he was getting ready to do away with Israel. He was about to be cut off, and then he sent the son to come down to go down there. What's wrong with my people? I need you to go down there and see what's wrong with them. They can't. And I'm finna be done with them.
Just
So
like
you better go
Moses.
save him before I deal with him.
Go
And then he come down. That's how I get Christians. To be honest, so you telling me he brought us out of captivity, gave us commandments, brought us into slavery, brought them into, don't even use us, but he gave them commandments, sent his son to tell them to keep the law. Then you telling me after he died, his only son, after his son dies, now we just free reign and do whatever.
Right.
What sense does that really make, bro? You really tell me what sense that make? He gave us laws. We didn't keep them. So he said he sent his only son to come die for everybody's sin, and now we just sin willingly.
Nah, that don't sound right.
That doesn't make no sense at all.
The scriptures tell you it's a rock before the Messiah even hit the scene. He gave no man license to sin. Let's finish this off. Verse 12.
If thou hast understanding, answer thy neighbor.
If you have understanding, then you answer your neighbor.
Yeah.
Come on.
If not, lay thy hand upon
Shut
thy
your
mouth.
mouth. Did you actually go research why he called on Yahuwah? Did you go research why he may speak the Lashuan Kodash? Did you research why he wears fringes with a ribbon of purple versus a ribbon of blue?
You got to understand the whole matter before opening your mouth. Because the purpose is to gain a brother, not lose one. So if you don't understand why they do something, but you just know your understanding, shut the hell up.
Quiet. Supposed to go about losing a brother.
Because all you're doing is causing more contention and more division. And the Most High said, mark your butt. I'm supposed to mark you. You trying to teach me, but now you don't understand why I believe what I believe. And then you initially offended one. So now you're going to pay for that. But not by me, Moses said. Oh, I got a great father who would defend me. So you better be careful how you use your tongue, man. Because your own tongue can petition against you. Come on.
Be not called a whisperer, and lie.
Yeah, verse 13.
Okay, excuse me. Honor and shame is in talk, and the tongue of man is his fall.
That's been our problem.
Honor and shame is in the tongue.
Honor and shame. And it says the tongue of man is his fall. Adam fell because he really uttered his mouth. It wasn't his fault. No, you obviously is hiding for a reason. You was hiding for a reason. And the thing is, the Father already knew what you did.
Bruh, where you at?
So what is the purpose you hiding? It's like children. Bruh, children are literally the example of us when it comes to the Father. You ask a child, did you do this? You can literally say to them, it'd be better for you to tell me the truth and not get in much trouble than you to lie to me and get in worse trouble. And they still fix their mouth to say they didn't do it. That's us with the Most High. You have power to actually deliver yourself from wrath. But you choose the latter because you think he don't know, right? His eyes is 10,000 times brighter than the sun. He see and hear everything.
That sun is bright too, bro.
You can't read.
Baby boy, you might well go ahead and tell me.
And he be coming, he said he was moving to the cool of the day. He was moving through the garden. His voice was strolling through like, oh, here I come. But they hear his stumps.
Right.
Boom, he just moving through. He said, where you at, Adam?
Right.
I'm hiding. Why you hiding? I'm naked.
Who told you that?
Who told you you was naked?
How do you even know that?
How do you know that?
I just like somebody talking about you go downstairs. Oh, hold on.
Dang, that's
A popsicle was missing. Oh, it was Nikki. How you know that?
Right.
Oh, you now just saying something to me?
Right.
That's the thing about it too.
They be giving it up.
You now just saying something to me, and you been through this? Oh, Eve did do that, and you didn't come to me and tell me. Oh, okay.
He said, oh, okay.
And this is why Israel gets judged by a nation and not individual. Because it's always two sides. Oh yeah, they did tell me they broke the Sabbath. But did you tell them they were wrong? Did you even tell anybody what they did? Leviticus 5:1. He that hears swearing and not utter it, they're saying
It's on you.
it's on you.
This is Ezekiel.
It's real. Let's keep reading. Read verse 14.
Be not called a whisperer, and lie not, and wait with thy tongue, for a full shame is upon thy there, and an evil condemnation upon the double tongue.
Oh, I didn't do it, but they did it. I did see it, but I didn't know if I should tell. That's a double tongue. Hold on. You knew it, but you didn't say nothing. But now you saying something because now you may get in trouble too. Oh, you thought you was telling the truth, but I told you to have compassion. But you took Isaiah 58:1 and wanted to cry out loud. But now I lost my sheep.
It's a thin line. It's a thin line.
Very thin.
On to the shepherd that scattered my sheep.
Oh, well, I thought I was doing the right thing. I was crying a lot, sparing, I got thrown in jail. Did you get thrown in jail for the truth because you been stupid? It's a difference. Come on, man. Last one, 15.
Be not ignorant of anything in great matter or small.
Don't be ignorant of anything. You got to be wise. You got to be temperate, have compassion, and patience in everything you do. Don't be ignorant and mad, and then you say something that you didn't mean to say, because it come back and bite you. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
So as men, we're going to do better, set better examples, that we have to have a more pure and powerful tongue. We have that power. The Creator created us in the likeness to have that power to speak life in the people and heal people. But everything has to be aligned, man. Everything. The 3 witnesses, your mind, your heart, and your mouth. So if these 3 are one, and once this opens up, it's going to be nothing but what? The water of life flowing. Nothing but the Spirit coming into people. And you should be able to heal. So we got to consider how we deliver things, a message, because we may not really be doing it right. All right? So with that, all praise to the Most High Yah.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. We're going to open it up for any comments, any questions.
Concerns.
No concerns, yeah. Any comments, any questions?
I love y'all.
Love you too, huh?
And to you, thank you for allowing us to come to your home.
All praise.
I got a comment. Yeah, the listening, it really cut me up. So definitely gonna take in all this.
This is real. Change my perspective. Dealing with people.
That's real though, man. We all have done it. We all literally, whether y'all know or not, have killed somebody. By hate speech or by deed.
Usually the closest ones to us.
Usually the closest one to it. And so, but it starts with us practicing on us. We got to learn how to heal us first. We got to speak life into ourselves. Right? For me, I can't be around no negative person who always talk bad about themselves. It just irritates me. Then I start feeling myself thinking that same way, like.
So what if you do what that person is like? I'm trying to give you the message without relaying too much, bro. What if that's someone very close to you who you can't avoid? How do you go about that?
Like, what if it's your rib?
Not even that. What if it's your parent? What if your father?
I mean, are you talking in the sense of somebody who lives with this person, or
no? Just someone that you can't avoid. They always keep in contact.
I mean, you always honor your parents, so it's one of the things like, listen, pops,
you gotta eat that.
No, it's like one of the things like, listen, pops, you speak life into them, but it get to a point they're not really receiving all you speaking negativity. Like, look, I'm in a place in my life where I can't really receive or have that type of energy around me, or even in my thought process. And so it's one of the things I'm praying for you. But if you're gonna keep talking like that, I can't really speak like that.
Give you my tongue.
Can't leave you here.
Yeah. Or I mean, if it's one of the really thing avoidable, and you still talk to them, but you just know when it's time to get off the phone.
But time limit.
Yeah, you put a time limit on.
This water boiling is getting hot. Can I go?
Yeah, I gotta go. I gotta do chili right
I
now.
got a client, bro.
I gotta turn the light off real quick. Can I call you back?
I forgot to take a breath. Hold up.
Anybody got any other comments, questions? Other good question too.
I'll call you back.
Anybody got comments, questions? Good.
Boy, my dad is the greatest.
All praise to the Most High Yah. Real quick, everybody on the live, we are taking donation on for anybody who would like to donate to the ministry. We are in pursuit of getting more equipment, getting more books, and overall we're trying to get a building. So if anybody can please, if you would like to visit your spirit to donate, please donate at the links that I put in the bio, and then anybody else here who would like to donate or give alms to what we're doing, y'all can just talk to me after. Hallelujah.
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 All praise to the Most High Yah.